When you look at the way you've been shooting the ball and moving it in half court, you know, going better from wing to wing, is it as easy as that, or is it a conscious effort to go inside? Why have you been shooting the ball so well?
I think it's a combination of things. We're moving the ball, we're going in and out. You know, we've got, I think, some guys that are shooting it well. They're shooting it with confidence. We're recognizing when guys are playing well and shooting it well. We're getting the ball to those guys. But we're getting productivity from, you know, the point, the wing, and the post. I think that's always a good thing.
Were you surprised when you saw those numbers when Kirk broke them down and how wide-ranging they were? Did that surprise you?
No.
No?
You know why? You know, I think if you think back to the Wisconsin game on the road, and how inefficient we were that day, and what we were doing off that, we were quick shooting the ball, we were putting our heads down and driving into packs of people. We weren't effective at all in terms of execution. And therefore, you know, you get down 9, next thing you know, if you look up, you're down 17, then you're down 30. And the only thing you can do then is, like I said, is try to make it a learning experience and say, okay, guys, we have to share the ball, we've got to move the ball. You know, sometimes it's a one dribble kick, sometimes you can get all the way to the rim. Sometimes we can go through the post even if he's not shooting the ball. I mean, it's basic offense, there's nothing scientific there. But it's getting 5 guys to understand that and then execute it on the floor, and that's what they're doing.
Is it one of those light bulb moments for those guys now that they've seen how
Well,
it
it's always easier, Tom, when you get your ears pinned back like we did that night. You know, that was, you know, if there was ever a good example of, okay, this is how not to do it. And you can continue to try to do it that way, or you can say, okay, what do we have to do to fix it? And to a man, they remained committed to doing that, and I think it's a credit to them.
What kind of changes do you expect from Minnesota from the last time? They threw Andre Hollings, their best defender, on Utah, and he made him pay with a lot of shots late. And
you know, I think with them, I mean, you look at how Hollins is playing right now, he's playing as well as anybody in our league, maybe as well as anybody in the country since we played them last. But, you know, they're going to come after us with pressure, they're going to mix man and zone, and it's going to be aggressive, they're going to push it hard. I think Walker's playing well. I've been impressed with him. They got a lot of guys that, you know, can score and can make plays both defensively and offensively. So I think we're going to get great effort, and it's going to be a different kind of game in the sense that we're going to have to be able to deal with that kind of intense defensive pressure.
Tell about that pressure in full court, and you didn't handle that well against Maryland.
No.
Got sloppy with the ball. Was that just, you think, part of it because the game was out of hand, or was it just you didn't execute?
Yeah, you know, I don't think it was that. I think it was, you know, what you said initially, we didn't handle it well. I don't care what time of the game it is or what the score is. You're getting pressed, you got to execute your press offense, whichever one either I or Mike calls at that particular time. Just execute it. Get the spots. You know, a guy might make a great read and make a steal. You know, you might cough it up, but for the most part, you just can't just put the ball on top of your head and throw it away. And this is a team that, you know, they turn you over in some respects, but what they do is they steal it from you. They get it and go, and they go score it. So you can't turn it. It's one thing to throw it away. It's another thing to make a pass that they read and steal it, and next thing you know, there's a 2-on-1 and they're dunking the ball and they're back into the press. It's different.
Coach, as a coach, what is it that you like when you share the ball? You know, Michigan, you have all 5 guys, no figures. Maryland, it's 3 guys, and you were sharing the ball so well, passing it. What do you like about that as a coach?
Well, I think it's a complete understanding of how to play together, and it's a complete commitment to winning. You know, nobody's thinking about themselves. It's obvious, and I think if you're going to ever have a good team, a team that's capable of winning a championship, you better be unselfish, and I think we have that quality.
As a byproduct of that, you're shooting a lot less three-pointers. Has there been a conscious effort to be more selective in what kind of outside shots you take?
Yeah, I think there always has to be a conscious effort there, but I do think you're right that recently it's been better. You know, sometimes just because the ball swings to you and you're open to the three-point line doesn't mean you should shoot a 3. You know, depending upon what your strengths and weaknesses are as an individual player. And I think we've had some guys turning some shots down even though they're open and making a play for somebody else. And I think that's what you've got to be able to recognize. I mean, obviously, we want to know what we want to do as a team, but, you know, you should know better than anybody what your particular skill set is and how to maximize that.
You talked a lot this year about managing wins and losses similarly. What has it been like in the locker room the past couple of days after the big Maryland win coming off?
Well, they feel really good about the fact that they, you know, I think looked at a 3-game losing streak and said, okay, let's make some adjustments, let's play better as a team, let's really commit ourselves defensively to being better. It's not that we weren't doing it before, but I do think we're doing it better. And that's what you have to do. And then, okay, it translated to some wins. We still got a lot of games to go. We want to continue to do that. I mean, essentially, Minnesota did the same thing. We beat them that night in a tough game for them. They nullified the bucket. They were 0-5. You know, they're 4-2 in the last 6, and easily could be 5-1 or 6-0. So that's what they did. So you have to really respect, you know, the job that Richard's done and those guys getting together and figuring it out and playing better themselves.